afternoon.
Warren Fiscal Court, Friday, April 12th, 2019 is now called to order. I want to welcome Pastor Tim Harris with Woodburn Baptist Church, who's here with us today to offer prayer. Thank you so much for being so patient, and I appreciate you being here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Please remain standing after the prayer as Esquire Gorman will lead us in the pledge following.
Pray with me. Oh, Lord God, when we wake up on a morning like this, we forget what a privilege it is to open our eyes and have breath in our lungs and strength in our bones. Lord, when we see trees like these and rain like this, Lord, we forget what a miracle and wonder life is, how beautiful your creation is. As we come to work today and begin this day, let us not forget the goodness of this community in which we're blessed to live, and the goodness of its hardworking people, and the privilege it is to serve them. God, I pray that you will bless these leaders in this room today and all through this day. I pray that you will bless them with wisdom to make good decisions. Lord, I pray that you'll just continue to help us to lean upon you, to trust you, Lord. Even though we are beginning a day of work, Lord, some of us are carrying heavy personal, private burdens. Lord, I pray that you'll just bless every soul in this room. Give us, Lord, the knowledge that we are each sheltered in your arms. God, as we move through this day, let us not forget that it is you who has made us. We have not made ourselves. So help us, Lord, to remember that we are being carried, Lord, that we are being provided for, and that this breath in our lungs is a gift. God, help us to remember and not to forget. We pray these things in the name of the Lord. Amen.
Space the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dan. Go ahead and call the roll, please.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
Esquire Gorman.
Here.
Esquire Young.
Here.
Esquire Payne.
Here.
All righty. Friend Chris Comer has some guests this morning that we'd like to introduce. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Judge, thank you for letting us just take a couple minutes here. I want to introduce you to some of my friends. This is the Student Technology Leadership Program team from Moss Middle School, and this is their fearless leader, Adam Vincent. I'm going to let each one of the students introduce themselves, but they have a couple of things that they're going to share with you. A couple months ago, Adam approached us, and they were looking for a project. And these four individuals here, as well as their other classmates, they are part of a technology leadership program at Moss Middle School, and they're doing amazing things. They came to us and said, Chris, what is a project that we could do for county parks that would benefit your operation? And so at Basil Griffin Park, as you all know, at all of our regional parks, we have really nice walking trails, but we're in need of new trail markers. And so the leadership team here came to us, and we worked out a kind of a plan, and these students have created 3D imaging themselves with Mr. Vincent's help, new trail markers for all of our trail signs for the orange trail, the red trail, and the yellow trail out at Basil Griffin Park. And I'm going to let them explain that a little bit more, and then here within the next week or so, they're going to be coming out and putting these markers on our trail poles. But each one of these markers that they're going to show you, they have created with a new 3D printer that they were able to get through the school. And it's some really cool technology, and I think they're probably better apt at explaining how it all works. So Adam, it's yours. Yep.
Thank you all very much. My name is Adam Benson. I'm the technology teacher at Moss Middle School, and I am in charge of the STLP class. It's more of a club, and it's kind of a competition. We do a lot of project-based learning things. We had regional competition in the fall in our state competition that they're going to present sort of what they're going to present to you today. It'll be a little bit longer, but that will be next Thursday in Lexington at Rupp Arena. So I'm going to let them go ahead and present what they've been working on.
Come right up.
Thank you. My name is Samir, and I'm a student in STLP, and it stands for Student Technology Leadership Program. And we're going to be presenting this, as he said, in Lexington, Kentucky next Thursday. And our project is all about 3D printing trail markers. We first met with Annie at Lost River Cave, and she didn't think that the trail marks would work for her, but she thought that we could use it for something else. So she told us that we could work with her on their scavenger hunt. Here's their current scavenger hunt. As you can see, they have clues about the park that take visitors to a certain spot. Once they get there, there's a squirrel with a number on it.
Thank you, sir.
At the very end, the numbers spell a phrase out, and they can see what the phrase says. Annie told us that Lost River Cave needed their help updating their scroll chair markers since their old ones were in poor condition and would not last long. We designed these to use in their place.
That's They're very cool.
Those are the new trail markers. They're more durable and sustainable than the old ones that Lost River Cave had.
I love it.
Thank you.
These are great.
Good morning.
Yeah, there you go.
My name is Ruben. I'm also a student in the STLP group. We decided to do this project because we wanted to 3D print trail markers for our local parks that are in need of them. Both Lost River Cave and Warren County Parks and Rec wanted more sustainable and durable trail markers that could easily be seen and kept in good condition for a very long time. Warren County Parks and Rec wanted us to make trail markers for them that would allow people visiting the trails to have background information on the trails. Basil Griffin Park has 3 different trails: a short yellow trail, a red and orange trail. Here are the markers that we designed for the yellow trail. Oh,
It's okay. They've got them already.
they've got them already. Thank you.
Those are cool.
Hi, my name is Sobadina. We have already designed a maple leaf with numbers on it for the red trail. It took around 2 hours to 3D print each tree. Due to time constraints and needing to print objects for other classes, we have not printed any of the trail markers for the red trail yet. In conclusion, this is our showcase project that we decided to do, and some information including how we did it and why we chose to do it. We really hope you enjoyed our presentation. Our team also designed these magnets that say I Heart BG. I would like to give each of you one of them. Thank you.
So Selvadina is going to pass down around for each of the magistrates a little button that says I Heart BG. And so those are for you all to keep, but we do need the squirrels in the trees. Sorry, we do need those back for our actual project, but you all feel free to keep those magnets. And I just want to personally thank you all again for letting us come out today.
Okay. Moss Middle School has been a great friend to us for some time, and they've really progressed remarkably at the school over the last few years. I think the Leader in Me program has been emphasized very strongly at that school. I feel a difference in the kids who go to Moss Middle School over the last few years. And it's a good positive influence to all the kids throughout our community. We really appreciate your hard work on this. And you want this back too?
You keep that one. We'll make another 6.
We'll keep it, okay. Well, before y'all leave, can we get a picture with you guys? Would you mind coming up here?
I know. I think Amy's going to do it.
Wilson is our model first district doctor. She doubles as a county attorney since one. Is it? Yeah, that was. All right, thank you.
I was wondering what, I should know.
Thank you, ma'am.
I was wondering what you.
Okay. Thank you all for visiting. You're welcome to stay the rest of the court if you need a note to get out of class or. Oh, that'll be fun. Great. Thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you all. We appreciate it. All right, the next item is to approve minutes of the fiscal court meeting of March 22nd, 2019. Is there a motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence, to approve minutes as submitted? Any additions or corrections from anyone? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department. Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second by Squire Young. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve personnel changes for Warren County. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the next item is to approve second and final reading of ordinance number 1908, an ordinance of the Fiscal Court of Warren County, Kentucky, authorizing and approving the issuance of Warren County, Kentucky general obligation refunding bonds in the principal amount not to exceed $6,500,000, authorizing the levy of a direct annual tax on, now let me stop right there, just go ahead and make sure everyone recognizes that there is no direct annual tax anticipated. This is statutory language that has to be in there. This is actually a refinance on some existing bond that is actually going to save us quite a bit of money over the remaining years. Okay, and all taxable property within the county, in addition to all other taxes in an amount sufficient to pay the principal or the interest of the bonds, and the extent that facility revenues are not sufficient, and authorizing the taking of all other actions, including the execution and delivery of a continuing disclosure agreement and such other documents, agreements, and certificates necessary or required for the issuance of the bonds. Motion by Squire Cummings. Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Righty, the next item is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 1909, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and McKinney Farms Subdivision, Phase 2. Motion by Squire Young. Second by Squire Payne. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to make part of the record the 2018 Warren County Area Solid Waste Management Plan Annual Report. If there are no objections, it's hereby ordered to be entered into the record. Next item is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $1,200 to Bobcat of Bowling Green for the servicing of a Bobcat S650 skid steer for the Warren County Parks Department.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $2,026.39 to Wright Implement for repairs to the 6603 John Deere tractor for the Warren County Parks Department. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1910, rezoning property at 860 Glasgow Road from agriculture to light industrial containing approximately 10.23 acres, presently owned by Let's Chat LLC, Norman and Carol Harned, and Jeff and Betsy Harned.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion, questions?
Your Honor, I did ask planning and zoning to start as we go forward from all these requests we get from rezoning issues. It'd be nice for me to have what the vote total was on when it came out of the commission. We discussed it back there. She said as we go forward, but I want to get it on the record that that would help us to make sure that we know if there's any opposition or any, if it would just help us for information purposes.
That's always helpful, yeah. Usually you do know if there's opposition.
Right.
But it would be helpful to have some official notification. Okay,
Motion second.
please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1911, rezoning property on Shaker Mill Road from single-family residential to residential estate containing approximately 4.14 acres and presently owned by Sawyer Williams with Luke Williams as the applicant. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1912, rezoning property at 1350 Mountllock Road from agriculture to rural residential containing approximately 5.01 acres and presently owned by Emil Attic.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1913, rezoning property at the western corner of Red Pond Road and Bristow Road from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 5.787 acres and presently owned by James Devon and Suzanne Butler. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the renewal of the fiscal tax software subscription for the Warren County Treasurer's Office in the amount of $3,400 to Fiscal Soft Corporation.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve determination in the amount of $1,342 to Miracle Recreation for 36 replacement trash can liners for Buchanan Park. This is at state price contract.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve determination in the amount of $7,258 to Wayne Supply for a hydraulic angle broom attachment for the track loader machine for the Warren County Parks Department. This is also a state price contract. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to make part of the record a certificate of liability insurance for M&L Electric, Inc., M&L Technical Systems, Canteen Holdings, Inc., and Clark Beverage Group, Inc. If there are no objections or discussion, that's hereby ordered to be entered into the record. Item number 20, approve the official order number 111598, making specific changes to the state primary road system reclassification of the William H. Natcher Parkway to I-165.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire
Yes, ma'am.
Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a question?
You can.
Why are they doing that?
Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Just to cut right through, that they're making an improvement to federal designation for the road in order to help Owensboro.
About as plain as I've heard it said.
I mean, that's just to the bottom line, but I mean,
It
you
helps
know,
Butler
it's,
County and other ones along the way, too.
yeah, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't hurt us. I think what will end up happening is there will be two routes of I-65 and I-165. Natcher Parkway will go through Owensboro, and also Western Kentucky Parkway comes through up to Hardin County. And I think it will become part of I-165 as well. And will be on both sections of it. So it's not going to be detrimental to us, but it's certainly going to be beneficial to the people of the Owensboro area. It should help our, what I call our triangle down here in southern Kentucky, but by first helping our neighbors. Any other questions? Any other perspectives on that? All right. The next item is to grant authority to advertise for road salt for the Warren County Road Department.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gorman, Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Gorman. Any other discussion or questions?
Jerry, what kind of shape, are we in good shape with current, or is it going to be a big order? Okay.
But we don't have to accept delivery on it, right? We just get our bid in, and then we accept delivery and pay for it if we need it. But this way, we at least get the order in.
The locked-in price.
We get the locked-in price. Right. If you believe what everyone's saying, though, we may need it this year, next year. Okay.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young.
Yes,
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve February 2019 Treasurers Report. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Payne. Discussion? Questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 23, approve emergency determination in the amount of $1,032 to Advanced Systems Technology for the smoke evacuation, inspection, and report due prior to the Kentucky Department of Corrections inspection. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Y'all don't have any questions for Stephen? All righty. Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Number 24, approve emergency determination in the amount of $1,800 to Booth Fire and Safety for the fire alarm inspection and report due prior to the Kentucky DOC inspection. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Just for the record, Booth Fire and Safety and fire alarm that we're buying the fire alarm inspection and report. Equipment from is owned by Magistrate Doug Gorman.
Myself in the back.
All righty. Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the County Road Aid Cooperative Program Agreement between the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, and Warren County.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the next item is to grant authority for the Warren County Parks Department to rent a lift to complete the ball field lighting at the amount of $2,473.52 from Wayne Supply. The rental, as you all know, was already approved, but we need it for a longer period of time, so we need it for 2 more weeks, and we're asking for authority to do so.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second.
second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $9,222.50 to Stewart and Ritchie for storm damage at White Park. The HVAC ductwork was blown off causing a gap after the bad storm, and we needed to get it fixed quickly. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions?
Would this be two things, because this gym's barely a year old? I mean, obviously, there's nothing from original construction warranty I've issued. If it's a storm, is it covered by insurance?
Unfortunately, this is the third occurrence that we've had of wind damage to the gyms. The two other ones were covered under 12-month warranty of the buildings. Unfortunately, the warranties expired at the first of the year, and due to our insurance deductible being so high, around $20,000, we have to eat these costs as they occur. So Scott Murphy and Daniel did help us on the other two at no cost to us. This has happened 3 other times, and we're basically just getting sustained straight line winds going through these areas that are just ripping them off the back of the building. We've reinforced 3 additional sections independently over the course of the past 2 months, and so we're just hoping that those improvements will hopefully keep this from happening again.
Now, what'd you say was keeping from happening again?
We've reinforced the way that they've been. They've put more screws.
Strapping or?
Not strapping, just different kind of flashing that they've put on the back of the buildings, not using so much adhesive, and actually putting screws and anchor bolts into the actual structure itself. We're hoping that will be able to withstand those winds. The southwest corners of the buildings is where most of the problems are happening. On this one that occurred at Ethan White Park, actually ripped it away from the gym, and we would have had water coming in through the backside, damaging the floor if we had.
Did it rip it off up high or down low?
It ripped it off from the top to the bottom.
To the top to the bottom.
So it ripped off the whole thing.
I was just wondering if there was a way of mitigating by putting some fencing up or something to divert, or would that just create a new?
I've got a good solution, but you don't want to hear it. We need to concrete with concrete block all the way up. But I'm confident that they're confident that it can withstand 80-mile-an-hour winds. Anything above that, even really anything above 50. We've had some roofing issues over the past couple months at some of our shelters. We've had some damage with the flooding down at Romanza Johnson Park with the roof structure there, on the shelter there. So just Mother Nature's been kind of tricky the last 2 or 3 months in regards to the rain and some of the winds.
Yeah. Okay.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next item is to approve payment of $1,043.10 to Arnold Consulting Engineering Services for the plat for the parking lot behind Sky Pack.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second.
second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 29 is approve the purchase of 2019 Case Tractor Loader Backhoe model number 590SN from Diamond Equipment for the purchase price of $132,103.06 at state price contract. This is a 5-year purchase price of $24,020.42 per year for the Warren County Road Department.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes,
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the purchase of blank memorial pavers from Lead Building Products in the amount of $8,250. This is a single source provider, and I think Mr. Markram kind of explained this to me, why it's a single source provider, and I'll let him follow up on that, and where we're having to have them
Yeah, they're a specialty stone just to fit our courtyard, and it was made by Specialty Concrete, which has been sold or out of business. Fortunately, Tony's the only guy that could actually get it made, so I want to thank him and Lee Brick and Block. But anyway, we had to buy a huge quantity because when they actually make the mold to make these brick, had to do it in a vast quantity to sell us the minimal. So we've got several brick here to last several months. But anyway, it's it's not really a granite, and it's not really, it's one that they actually make, and to make it match what we had to have that particular stone or brick. So that's where we ended up being. I tried every vendor that I could call from Alley Cassidy all the way down to even the monument companies. They'll be glad to engrave it, but you got to furnish the stone. So since it's a particular type material that they use to compact to make this stone, he's the only one that could get it. And I hate to say it out loud, but Tony's the only guy that could get it. So that's why it's single source. He's the only guy that could find it anywhere. We tried Louisville, we tried Nashville, we tried everywhere, but fortunately he's got somebody up his sleeve that can make it for us. So I want to thank him for doing that, because we begged, borrowed, and steal to get through last year, so we've got a few now.
So these 518, I mean, how long would that technically last us?
We use about 10 a month. We usually do about 7 months a year, so we got several years.
Okay.
Now, there is a 2x2 stone that we offer that we don't have as well, but right now we're just kind of waiting to see if we sell them before we try to special order those. But the memorial is, we're going to hope to have a laying next month. We've had a water leak out there, so we've got some dirt over some stones. We've got to come in and clean that up and fix all back. But we very much appreciate having that memorial, and you guys do a great job with it. But we needed some stone. So, okay. Any other questions?
Any other questions from you guys? Have a motion?
We don't.
Motion.
A motion by Squire Cummings, second Squire McWhorter. Now, I think you all caught that, but just for the record, Squire Payne works for this company, and but this is really the only vendor we can get these from. We did everything we could to try to keep from buying anything from. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Abstain.
Okay. Next item is to approve the 211 report for March 2019.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve a determination in the amount of $2,480.40 to BGMU for 10 Polycom VVX 601 IP phones for Public Works, single source vendor.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second.
Second.
Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to grant authority to advertise for the 2019 illegal open dump cleanup project. This is funded 75% by the Kentucky Pride Fund, and I guess it's 25% by local match, isn't it? Or is it just, who pays the other 5 if it's only 20?
25.
It's 25. That's what I thought. Okay.
Motion.
Brenda does that just to kind of keep us on our toes here. Okay. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve annual tower lease for the community outdoor warning sirens and the community activated life-saving voice emergency system indoor sirens. to Mobile Communications in the amount of $2,640 as single source vendor for emergency management. Motion by Squire Young, second Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions?
Hope we don't have to use them.
Pardon me?
Hope they don't have to go off this year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This is one of the things, though, over the years that has really paid off for the community. Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the determination in the amount of $2,500 to Millstone Labs LLC, which is a single source for cyber-safe teen presentations for the Agency for Substance Abuse Policy Grant, and this is no cost from the general fund. Warren County is paid for by the grant. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1914, amending the budget of Warren County. Motion by Squire Young, second. Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the purchase of a 2019 Dodge Ram 1500 Special Service four-wheel drive from Glen Freedom Dodge in the amount of $28,609. This is a Kentucky State price contract, number MA, for the Drug Task Force. There's no cost to the county general fund. This is paid for with funds from forfeited funds and forfeited vehicle sales. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Also want to bring to your all's attention, if you don't have a copy of this, I'll be glad to share it with you, that the official publication of the Coalition, National Narcotic Officers Magazine, National Magazine, turn in there, one of the main articles. There's Tommy Loving, of course. He spends a great deal of time making sure that our drug task force is a leader, not only in this area of Kentucky, but throughout the nation.
I think we should appoint him to go negotiate a lot of things for us, to get that price of that truck at $28,000. Incredible. So I think we should try to use him again for other stuff.
Any questions or comments? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the purchase of 2 Dodge Durangos from Freedom Dodge in the amount of $63,562. This is for not each, but for both. This is at Kentucky State price contract, and this is for the Warren County Regional Jail, paid for by canteen funds.
A lot of crackers.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second. I hear someone over here, Squire Gorman. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next item will be to pay the bills. Will the treasurer please present the claims to the court?
General Fund, $1,635,435. Road Fund, $74,668. Jail Fund, $290,360. Stormwater Fund, $27,336. Grant Fund, $4,000. E911 Fund, $27,286, and Fed Forfeiture Fund, $3,195. We have to answer any questions.
Motion by Squire Young to approve claims as submitted, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Sheriff Hightower, how are you this morning?
Excellent, sir. Very good. Just wanted to update you all on a couple of things. One is the electric upgrade. I just want to thank James and Ronnie for just working on that to make sure that was a smooth process. There was a lot of finite details that we need to work out, particularly for our dispatch to move over to the drug task force area. Tommy did submit a bill for $10,000 per day for my use over there, but I don't think we're going to pay that, but we do appreciate him doing that. This morning, we had some training put on by the EMS on Narcan, so we were able to obtain a grant through the Drug-Free Warren County organization. They provided 40 kits on Narcan for our deputies to have available on themselves. So it's about a $4,500 savings that we didn't have to pay for. And this is for if we have an accidental exposure from one of our deputies, or if we come across somebody within the community that had accidentally or purposefully overdosed on some type of drug. And the last thing I just want to mention is April 23rd, we'll be out in Smiths Grove. So myself and the good magistrate McWhorter will be out there, 6 p.m. Smiths Grove, April 23rd, out there at their city hall. So otherwise, but thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
All righty. Thank you, Sheriff. Ms. Yates is not with us this morning. We miss her. Taylor Harmon. Thanks, sir. Nothing?
He said thank you, Joe.
All righty. All right. No. Thank you.
He's gonna make you talk.
Mr. Comer. Hiding over here.
Feasibility study, just a progress report on that, Judge. We had our second input meeting last night, public input meeting. Mr. Magistrate Gorman and Magistrate Cummings were there, had a good turnout, had 112 residents participate in that. Lowson Associates is about 80% complete on the study. They're planning on making a public presentation to Fiscal Court on Friday, that May the 10th. At 9 o'clock, and they'll talk about their findings, recommendations, and processes moving forward.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Did you have I know you said you had 112. Did you have about 165 the first meeting or something like that?
Had over 175 the first meeting, which was a record for them from a public input meeting. They said that was the first time they'd ever had public outpouring for an event, public meeting for this type of study. And last night they were estimating about 50 participants. We ended up having 112. So there's been a good public input from the community on the study.
Good. Can't wait to hear.
Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Moore? Aha, Ms. Kohler. How are you? Good.
I've got a couple things to talk about. The first one, I give you a handout. We're finally launching the Septic to Sewer program. It's a partnership with the Water District. It's basically a no-interest loan so that you can get off your septic system and onto sewer. It's only available to a very narrow group of people, and you'd have to call the Water District so they can check their mapping to see if you're actually qualified for that program, and then you submit an application. And that's pretty much it. There's a lot of environmental benefits, and then some just landowner benefits, getting more land available so you can put a storage unit or a pool or things like that. We've been working on it for a long time, and we're finally ready to go with it.
Is this in like geographic areas where the environment is more sensitive, or to where we have the capacity to
It's where sewer has extended past some existing properties, and they now have the opportunity to connect, but most homeowners don't want to spend that kind of money just right out of their pocket. So it's focused more on where sewer's extended as opposed to environmentally
For the
sensitive
availability of
areas. Yeah.
getting it to them, okay.
Yeah.
Then it's up to 48-month period with interest-free?
Yep, it's up to $4,800, and it's basically you pay it back over your water bill over a period of 48 months. Yeah.
Cool.
The second item, if you don't have any more questions, is Household Hazardous Waste Day is coming up. It's April 27th from 8 to 1 at Greenwood High School. We do this twice a year, and we're ready for the second one, so bring your stuff. 27th.
What time?
It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's a huge community event. We have a lot of partners that participate, so we're very thankful for all the support that we get.
Any questions? Thank you,
Thanks.
Nikki. Mr. Young? Mr. Pearson? Let's see, do you have a grandson that just was deputized, or is that, who was that?
That was my grandson that just got deputized as deputy sheriff in Simpson County.
Congratulations to him. He what?
We lost a good jail deputy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Is that the Lamastus kid? Was that Lamastus, Eric Lamastus? Who was it? Who was it?
Congratulations to him. Let's see here. Mr. Appling? Mr. Peterson is not, okay, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Call him, see if he wants to say.
Ms. Alexiev? I didn't call on Mr. Branstetter because he sent me a note that said he's watching, so we can't say anything bad about him. But apparently he has to work a little bit this morning. Okay. Mr. Markram, you going to give us a report on what's going on with all these?
I am.
Good.
The energy audit folks have pretty much done all the LED lighting change from all of our volunteer fire stations through every county building that we've actually talked about. They still like a few weeks at Chris's complex because of the rain. They've done a lot of the upgrades at the jail on the water. They're working on redoing the showers and the areas that need to be repainted. We're actually started the process of heating and cooling. You guys have heat and cooler in the courthouse for the first time in weeks. So we're trying to get the bugs worked out of that on the night setback and actual program times and so forth. But I do want to upgrade you on the next process of the equipment to be changed out. Miss Amy's going to be experiencing some difficulties in parking next month when we start changing out some rooftop units at the jail. So that's going to happen. I don't know the exact dates on it. At the same time, we're going to set a crane up on the square to change the units on top of Capital Arts. We're going to have to work with the city a little bit on to shut down to do that. I don't have the exact date yet, but I know it's going to happen probably end of next month, right now, the way it's looking. So
Is the equipment in?
equipment's here.
Okay.
Everything's here. It's a matter of logistics on when we can actually get into there and get it down. With them doing their reconstruction of the square, and we're trying to work both ways. It's kind of hard to do it because of the crane's going to be there 4 to 6 hours. So we're going to try to figure out what's the best time to try to do that on the square. For us, at Amy's at the jail, we're just going to put it in the parking lot where her area is at and our area is at. That's actually going to start the 22nd of this month.
A week or so.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the equipment's all here for all that. Some big changes coming, and now's a good time because we're right in the middle of it, starting to turn on air conditioning. But other than that, it's all gone very well. ESG's been a really good contractor to work with as far as energy upgrades and so forth. They've already started seeing some experiencing the lower bills, and that's a good thing. They'll pay for it. So, you guys got any questions? Yeah?
Okay.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right. No one here from the fire department. Miss Alexis, okay. Squire Cummings?
Well, I have a couple things, Your Honor, to talk to you about. First of all, I want to wish publicly here Tom Lawrence a birthday that was yesterday. How old, I don't know how old he is, but he looks old, but happy birthday.
I'm still the youngest one on the court, Ron. Proud
You
to
sure?
say so.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday, Squire Lawrence.
Tom.
I want to compliment Chris Coomer and his staff, not just Chris, but his whole staff. A lot of times Chris gets all the credit for stuff, but I can promise you his staff was out there working just as hard on these public forums and so forth. So thank you for the work you all do. Want to acknowledge there are 5 students in our county that are up in northern Kentucky right now competing in the Lieutenant Governor Entrepreneurship Challenge. We have 3 students from Greenwood and 2 from South Warren that won their regional competitions and now are up competing for a state competition. And at some point, I'm going to try to get them down here to honor them here in fiscal court. But they're up there today, actually in the competition. So I want to wish them well. And they're this one hurts a little bit, but I want to acknowledge Squire Gorman on his appointment to the Operation Pride Board. I think it's well received, and
we need to get him some more coverage on
appointments.
that.
We
need to get him a little more coverage.
Yeah, but I just want to tell him that congratulations, and I'm sure he'll do a great job. So, besides that, thank you, sir.
All right, sir. You're talking about Chris and all the staff out working on that. I believe he's working on his birthday. 22 years old. It's amazing. Well, happy birthday. I think Miss Milliken's having her 22nd one next week. Is that right? Is it not the 22nd? What is it?
14.
The 14th. No, I meant your birthday. Which birthday is this?
Okay.
No one's telling. Okay, and then last week, Marie Smith had a birthday. Happy birthday to you too.
Yes, you did.
It's nice to have you. Squire Young?
Thank you, Judge.
Squire McWhorter?
Paul Eisenberg, who is a owner of Creative Learning Centers, was announced last week that he was the Business Entrepreneur of the Year for the state of Kentucky.
Wow.
And I hope I got that right. But it was a great event for him.
I hadn't heard that, but he runs a good operation.
He does. And he has 3 different centers. I think 2 here and 1 Louisville maybe, or somewhere else.
Yeah,
Somewhere else.
congratulations.
Yeah, it was a good honor for Paul.
Good.
Good kid, hardworking.
That's incredible. I'm glad you brought that up. I hadn't heard it. Squire Payne?
Thank you, Judge.
Squire Lawrence?
I'd just like to publicly thank everybody for all the outpouring of well wishes and everything on my birthday. It really made me feel good, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Well, when you're that old, I mean, you got to make
I'm just holding on the best I can here.
got to make a deal of it.
That's right.
Hope you had a good one.
I did. Thank you, Judge.
Squire Gorman?
Just like to thank everyone also for taking care of Tom. That's all I've got.
All righty. Ms. Milliken,
Thank you, Judge.
happy birthday next week.
Thank you.
Count?
Thanks, Judge.
He's upset you didn't recognize him in February when his birthday came around.
Nor did he recognize me.
March.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just,
I mean,
it's
what
just
goes
payback.
both ways.
That's right.
Judge, you were on the Beaver.
Oh,
I heard it.
Great. How are you doing today?
I'm great, and I want to wish Amy a happy birthday because she'd be mad if I didn't. So,
Ms. Smith?
thank you so much.
All righty, let's see here. We have Our next regularly scheduled meeting will be Friday, April 26th at 9 a.m. The Holly Outlaw Reunion, number 6, is back in Bowling Green at Beach Bend Park with drag races and so forth going on. That's this Saturday. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. The Hot Rods are in town Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. And that should be a big, big thing. Tonight, the Broadway play Spamalot is at Sky Pack. The opening day for Soki Farmers Market is tomorrow. Outdoors. And so there's a lot of big things going on in Warren County. It should be a very active weekend. Unfortunately, it's going to rain tomorrow night, but it should get us through the ball games and all the daily activities. The gates open up out at Beach Bend for the Holly Outlaw Reunion at 6 a.m. Well, they opened 6 a.m. yesterday, and they'll run through today and tomorrow. You can get single-day tickets for $20, full-day tickets for $50, and kids under 12 are free. And there any other?
I'll add one
Yes,
thing.
sir.
Our next meeting is the 26th, but also that day, the 26th, is the beginning of the Realtors' 7th Annual Hope for Homeless events.
Oh, yeah.
And Fiscal Court is invited out to the ribbon cutting at 11 o'clock, so it'll be about perfect timing for us to get through our meeting and
11
get out
o'clock,
there.
right?
It's out there on Campbell
Same place
Lane.
it always
Same place
is on Campbell Lane?
Yeah, and it's a big event. I mean, they raise a ton of money in food for not only Hotel Inc., but all the school resource centers in all the 7 counties that we touch. So it's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and they have that every year, and it's a huge turnout. It's at 11?
11 o'clock on the 26th.
11 o'clock on the 26th. No other business to be brought before this body?
Move we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Lawrence.